Hey guys, hello and welcome back to the Bass Therapy Podcast. So, I was just playing the 5-string bass. I played my favorite things, my version to my favorite things. And I was playing a 5-string bass. Usually I'm playing a 6-string Ken Smith bass. I have 2 of them. And for the last 2 years, I'm really trying to focus on the 4 and 5 string. For me, 4 string and 5 string, traditional 5 string with a low B, not with a high C, it's basically the same, because in both instruments we don't have the high C. And playing with the high C tuning, or with the 6-string bass with the high C, for me it's kind of easier to play, because I don't have to move my hands and shift my positions. Let's say I'm playing a C major key. If I'm playing a 4 or 5-string bass, by the time I reach the higher C, I have to start with the same hand, try to climb up the fretboard. But when I'm playing a 6-string bass, I can reach until F, up to F without changing my position, and that's a lot. That what makes it more easier to play on that, or easier to play on that instrument. And a lot of folks think, hey man, you're playing a 6-string bass, it looks really complicated, but actually it's not. It's easier. And by changing or switching my playing to 4 and 5-string, I actually need to think more. Every note has a lot more. I need to be responsible for every note I'm playing. I can't just assume that the fifth is going to be there. I have to make it. I have to build it. I have to craft every note that I choose, especially when I'm playing over changes. Let's say I'm playing over, let's say I'm playing over a giant step. So I have B and then D and then G. So on a 6-string bass, it's really easy not to move. But with a 4-string bass, I have to constantly, look at the bass and play very efficiently. Again, B. When I'm switching to D, and then back to G, I have to really be modest, if you'd like, with my note choosing. So yeah, that's why I switched to a 4 and 5-string bass. I still play a lot on the 6-string, but my point is that my practice routine now, it's only with 4 and the 5-string bass. At the beginning, I thought it's going to be a disaster, that I'm gonna get better on the 4 and 5-string, and then the 6 is gonna, be behind, but it's not the case. I'm really happy about that. That's not the case. When I'm playing the 6, it's really natural to do the switch. So the practice for the brain, for the music, just the music, the way I choose the notes, it really works a lot better with the 4 and 5 for me at this stage of my life. I guess because I'm getting older. And actually, this bass has a really funny story. My parents both are farmers. I'm the youngest of 3 siblings. I'm the youngest, and my parents are farmers, and they wouldn't let me work at the farm. You're gonna play music. My dad always told me, like, stay at home and play, and he really supported me. He has no musical education. He can't even sing, but he really supported me through my music school and all my all my education as a teenager, which was very expensive. I went to the the most expensive teacher in Israel, and the best, Yorai Oron. He's really amazing. You should check him out, by the way. An incredible bass player, incredible. Yorai Oron. Sounds weird in English, but Yorai, Yorai, and Oron, Oron. Check him out on YouTube. He's really incredible. So I used to study with him, and it was really expensive. And yeah, my father backed me up the whole way. He really supported me. And one day, I got better really, really quickly. And should I say really quickly or just quickly? I guess quickly. So I used to play a lot of keyboards as a child, and then one day I think I was depressed. I think that was when I'm looking, back at those days, I was depressed from, playing piano and keyboard just by hearing. I didn't know how to read music. I just, I had really good ears. I could play almost any song just by hearing it. But I never studied, I never got better because I didn't read music, and I studied with, I don't know, some distance from myself, I guess. So I stopped. I just stopped playing and stopped studying, and I stopped, going to music teachers as a piano player. But then at the age of 14, I saw a bass player at my high school. I don't even remember if he was good or not, but I remember that I fell in love. You know what? It wasn't falling in love. It was obsessed. I was obsessed with the bass. And I used to walk around my village, with my fingers like that, like air bass, like I was playing bass. And I remember people asking me, "Man, are you a bass player?" And I used to say, "Sure, yeah, I'm a bass player." Of course, I was lying. I didn't have a bass. But inside, I felt like a bass player. And, that state of mind really led me to when I got my first bass, I really started picking up things really quickly, like we just learned. So really fast, I was a bass player already, and after 1 year, I was gigging with all kinds of bands, and the thing that changed my, the way I studied music on the bass as opposed to the piano is, reading music and understanding music in a broader and more profound way. Reading chords, reading, music, reading just notes, like notation. And yeah, so as years went by, I understood how important it is to play bass, because as bass players, we are, we can manage without reading music at a certain level, but if we want to get the really nice and good gigs, if we want to understand music and our fretboard better, we need to be able to read music. We can't just, play chords. I mean, it's good. It will get you somewhere, definitely. I mean, I'm sure that there are a lot of, even professional bass players who can't read notation, but I really recommend it. I really think it changed the way I play, just, being a teenager and starting to read music. And it's really, really something that I highly recommend. And well, recommending on reading music is not enough. So what I would like to show you guys is a book. I mean, you can't see because I have this animation thing, but let me just show you the book. Where was it? So it's basically, Bach, John Sebastian Bach, the way we said in Hebrew. And Bach's music is incredible. And a good starting point would be the really simple, it's actually, I think he wrote it for children. All his piano children pieces. For example, he has this beautiful minuet. It's BWV and then 116. So I'm just playing the left hand and just reading this music with your left hand. I'm sorry, with the bass, just reading the left hand of the piano. It could be a really good starting point. And you know what? I'm going to leave it in the description. I'm going to leave a link to just the YouTube notation video, and you can play along with the video. And it's a really good starting point. I really recommend you to start from there. And the music is amazing. The music is beautiful, but yet it's really simple, and it's a good way to start. One more tip that I can give you regarding the reading music is to not look at your bass. For example, this piece is on G major, so when you're playing, most of it is you can play most of the piece just with the first position, just with the G major position. That's the second finger, fourth finger, first, second, fourth, first, third, and fourth again. You can play most of the piece just using this position. So the tip is not to look at the bass. Don't look at the bass. Even if you're making a mistake, keep your eyes on the notes. Keep your eyes, on the music sheet, and play and use your ears and eyes on the. Really pay attention if you're playing it right or not, but don't look at the bass. As more as you do it, it's the better. The better. The more you do it, the better. Got it. I got the sentence right now. So, Bach, simple music. Don't look at your bass. Yeah. So that was the second episode, guys. Thank you so much. Please leave a comment. It really helps me. It gives me motivation. So give me some comments. If there are questions that you'd like me to address, certain topics, please feel free to leave a comment or just a personal message on my YouTube channel. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Goodbye. Stay safe.